week 7, Alone Together, brand new song. In just a few minutes, we're going to be hearing it for the first time. I realized the other day that this is the newest song on the planet. This song has literally not even been heard by the band yet. So it's literally the newest song on the planet. I'm kind of excited by that. It's cool that we get to share this moment with you. My favorite moment when I'm writing music or when I'm discovering new music is that moment where you're just like, wow, that's cool. And when you're writing it, it's extra special. So I'm excited to get to share that with you. Speaking of that, if you look in the description of this video, we just released the first 4 songs from this. There's a link that you can take it to, all totally free. It's got Flamingo. It's got a couple others, Don't Let Me Go. It's got some of the best games you play. So we're really excited about that. You can go get it for free at the link in the description for this video. So check that out. And before anything else, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the boys and we'll start talking about the song. So part 1, the boys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello.
All right. So before we get started, Benji has a really cool friend who just started something really cool he wants to share with y'all.
Yeah.
Benji.
So I want to say shout out to my buddy Caleb. He made these super cool stickers that you can see on my end of the screen right now, just for fun. Like, just shot me a message out of the blue and was like, "Oh yeah, I like print stickers and like I made some for your band," and that's like super cool. So shout out Caleb. They're awesome. Him and his fiance have a website, like an Etsy store, which we're gonna drop in the chat, just to be like, hey, here's the like here it is. And they do a bunch of stuff. They do custom stuff. It's great. It's really cool.
What's his name again?
His name is Caleb Holmes.
Awesome. So we'll link to
if
that.
If you're in the chat, Caleb, let us know.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And he also made me this for my own like Spotify thing. So for my own Spotify page.
That's like a Spotify stream code, right? You can scan that.
Yeah, you can just scan that right in from your phone. So very cool stuff. Very super excited to get those, and very funny that we just today discovered we live 2 blocks from each other.
Oh, that's awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, so if you guys haven't been watching, we always start off with a quick question for the boys, get everybody warmed up while everybody's rolling in, and we always want you to answer this question too. So the question this week is, what animal would make a great driver? And we got 3 minutes to answer that. In 3 minutes, it's going to auto roll into our brand new song, Summer Snooze. So I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to start answering the question. So I think a giraffe would make a great driver because it could actually stick its head out the sunroof, and it would have limbs long enough to reach the pedal and the steering wheel. We'd have to do something about the opposable thumbs bit, but other than that, I think it would be a pretty great driver. Let us know what you think.
Hooves can grip, no problem.
Hooves can grip. Good that you know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rottweiler. Love it. Love it. Okay. Fizz Biz, what animal would make a great driver?
Oh, I think an octopus would make a great driver. All those tentacles.
Why do you say it like that?
All the tentacles. I love it. Oh,
tentacles.
All right. Nate, you said I stole it from you, so I'm going to put you on the spot.
I'm going to say a rhino would make a great driver because he would be willing to just plow through. He'll get you to your destination. There's no question about it. So,
like an Uber driver.
Say a rhino.
Yeah, say a rhino as an Uber driver.
I love it. Just plow on through. All right, Ty.
Yep.
Ty. What you got?
Well, the best animal driver is in fact the cat bus from Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro.
You got a point.
So I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of
hard.
You don't know?
What's wrong with you?
I don't
Come
know.
on.
I don't know.
It's
I'm sorry. I have no idea what we're talking about.
That's a bus.
Oh, man. Shame.
Oh, okay.
Get up on your Miyazaki, man.
Ooh, my dad's got a good one. Tiger Woods would make a great driver.
You know,
there's a little loophole there.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Unbelievable. That's the execution there.
So-
I'm gonna go with the two kids in a trench coat style thing, but instead it's just a lot of snakes. So it's kind of like an octopus, but it's just a
lot
bunch
of
of snakes working together.
Ooh,
I go with that.
I love it. That's good. So just a bunch.
Wasn't that in an episode of Rick and Morty?
I don't
Maybe-
even
maybe
know.
not.
I don't know off the top of my head, and if it is, I rescind and I say my cats.
My cats
A
would
lot
be
of
terrible
ants.
drivers.
A
I
lot
have
of
no-
ants.
Oh,
in
but they would
our-
be amazing to watch.
So in 30 seconds, we're bringing you our brand new song. First time anyone's heard it. I literally have not heard this song yet. It's crazy. This song is called Summer Snooze. So part 2, the song coming up in 18 seconds. So go ahead and if you have headphones, get your headphones. If you got good speakers, turn on your good speakers. Listen to this whatever way brings you joy. If you got AirPods, put on the AirPods. New song in 4, 3, 2, 1.
When summer comes around, my love, all I wanna do is lay down on the ground with you and take a summer snooze. But your boss keeps calling and the blinds keep falling, and these bills won't pay themselves. My brake lights out and daisies now just knock books right off the shelf. All I wanna do is take a snooze with you. All I wanna do is take that summer snooze. Can I watch the clouds roll by? Can I just watch the clouds roll by? The heat is like a glaze wrapped around my brain, floating in a warm pea soup. My days are just a daze. My sweat looks like the rain, counting down to my next snooze. But your boss keeps calling and the blinds keep falling, and these bills won't pay themselves. My brake lights out, and daisies now just knock the books right off the shelf. All I wanna do is take a snooze with you. All I wanna do is take that summer snooze with you. Is take that summer snooze with you. All I wanna do is curl up with you, and a book I'll never get through. All I wanna do is curl up with you, and a book I'll never get through. Let's take a snooze with you. Let's take that summer snooze with you. Let's take that summer snooze.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Very summery and very snoozy.
Very summery, very
Wait.
snoozy. This is like that perfect, like, the lyrics match the feel so well on this song. Like, you nailed that, Phil. Oh,
They
man.
really worked out.
That's awesome. I did not expect. There's like a real high guitar part that I kept thinking was a vocal part. That's cool. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we're gonna play the song again here in just a few minutes. But we're gonna talk a little bit about the process before that. So before I do that, again, there, in the bio we have a link that will take you to 4 of our favorite songs from Alone Together so far. It's the only way to get them right now, other than our Patreon. But Patreon gets everything, so they have all of the goodies. But this will give them all to you, these 4 songs for free. But now we're going to go into part 3, the process. So in the process, we talk about what everybody did, how we made this song. If you want to know a little bit more about songwriting, this is where you should go. So I'm going to start with Fizz. And Fizz Biz, I'm going to play what you sent us and tell us a little bit about this song.
Sure. I had been sending robust project files, meaning the songs had a lot of tracks in them, digital elements, things like that for the last couple weeks. So as I was writing this one, I thought, let's send something that's a little bit more stripped down. I didn't mean to make something that was sort of silly. I really thought...
Oh, Phil is traveling, so his internet is a little less stable. He just cut out.
You're back.
Phil, you're back.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You were saying you didn't mean to send something.
Didn't mean to send something so silly. I thought it was going to be like, like Here Comes the Sun, a real classic acoustic ballad. And I had 2 parts that had been kind of living independently. And, as a guitarist, you could just shift the key on one of those and match them together. And so that's where the verse and the chorus kind of combined. And yeah, I'm stoked about how it kind of kept the essence of the summer snooze vibe. Nothing too heavy, all very light and buoyant, and it's awesome. So.
Very snoozy, very sleepy. This would have been a very funny song to turn it around and do something very different. Maybe we'll do that next time. We'll do Bunny Man Part 2 over a song about snoozing. Will be our
Sunny
next
Man.
feat. Awesome. Okay, so you sent that to me. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over and talk a little bit about the drums. So the drums on this song, I'm just doing what the song calls for. So I'll go and play them in the background. They're just snoozy. They're just really riding with the song. They're just leaning into the rhythms. There's nothing too complex. That's one of the first things I always look for is how complex should this part be? Am I trying to add a lot to this? Probably the craziest thing, if you listen really closely, you can hear in the background, I'm using brushes on top of the drum beat. So there's a full drum beat, and then there's a full kind of jazz style brush part on top of it that adds like a nice rhythm without adding too much texture, too much sound going on. So I'm looking for more like sonic complexity than I am part complexity. And I'm usually a really heavy hitter, like really snapping on the rim shots, really hitting every hit really hard. I'm going the opposite on this. This time I'm going really like gentle. You should be able to sleep to this drum part, which I don't know if that's ever possible. But I sent this on, so I finished that. I love how these parts came out. I love how this song came out. I'm stoked. I've been stoked every week. This is such a fun project. So I sent this on to Benji Boy, and Benji Boy added a lot of snoozy guitar on top. So Ben, could you tell us a little bit about your snoozy guitar parts?
Yeah. So basically what I did was my main thing when I was listening to it was like I was thinking a lot of like sort of that modern chill vibe stuff, like definitely like I was saying before when we were all listening to it the first time, it was kind of like it kind of felt a little bit like could put some Mac DeMarco style stuff on it. So basically his big thing is he uses what's called a vibrato pedal. Now, so there's a thing called a chorus pedal in a guitar where you have your regular sound that's just normal, but then it also duplicates your sound and then throws it slightly like going in and out of tune. Like, you know, like when two people are singing together, they're kind of like one of them, they kind of aren't ever totally perfectly on, so they're kind of going in and out of tune. And what a vibrato pedal does is it just takes away the regular guitar part, so you just have a slowly going in and out of tune guitar, and it really creates that woozy, dreamy effect. It's a very like kind of like 80s effect, but you kind of take the clean parts out of it and you just make it gross and slimy. So I threw one of those in, and then I also just threw I kind of really liked using slide last week, and then it was just sitting there as I was doing this week's, and I was like, I gotta do another slide part just to match that vocal line in the chorus where he goes, oh, just doing a little on top, just really, and yeah, great impression there.
That was a great slide impression.
It's a really good slide guitar impression.
This is back-to-back weeks with slide guitar, and 200% more slide guitar than we've had in Broke Royal songs thus far.
Again, you're incorrect. It was in one song.
I know. That's what oh, sorry, 100%. So we're now at 100%.
There we go.
more.
We have exceeded that. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's great. It's so much fun to play around with. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that's mainly what I threw in.
Very cool. All right, so then you sent it on to Ty, and Ty added stuff. Let's hear what Ty added.
Yep. So I felt the vibe, the snoozy, sleepy, dreamy, slimy. Maybe not slimy, but I felt I was in the same headspace. So I found there to be a lot of space and a lot of texture all over the place that made me feel very comfortable to just, I don't know what's the word. Have fun. That's the word. And I didn't find it all that difficult either. And I feel like I don't play bass in this kind of way. I'm used to just doing kind of like root notes and like accenting like certain parts. But this I traveled up and down the fretboard and stuff and yeah.
So you're like you're not doing slide guitar parts, but you are kind of sliding around.
I'm yeah. I contemplated trying to do like slap bass type things, but it didn't work out. Also, I'm not very good at slap, so
that would have been a change. That would have been.
Would have been a little weird, but
I would have liked to hear that though. If anyone could do it, it's you. It's you.
And then toward the last chunk of the song, after that bridge part, I kicked on a fuzz pedal, just to give it a bit more sustain and help it, I guess, sort of lift that particular part of the song a bit more, because it does, obviously the mood is maintained. That sleepy vibe is maintained throughout this last chunk, but still just up the ante just a little bit, and I think it worked out well. So.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fuzz is such an interestingly versatile tool. Like,
so good.
It's basically like, it's a type of distortion, but it just has a different character that like really fills out the sound. I don't know. It's very interesting. That's awesome. Well, cool.
Everybody get an HM2 or an HM2 clone of some sort. That's what I used, and it's awesome. Please, everybody get one.
Who makes the HM2?
Well, Boss originally, but everybody's done like a million clones of it. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so then you sent it on to Nate, our boy Nate, Cool Dads, and Nate mixed this bad boy. He's the only one who's heard it before today. So I'm going to bring in Nate. Whoa, look at that cheese. That's awesome. So Nate, tell us.
Kept it as cheesy as possible for
We're going to start a new segment called Just the Mix Tip with Cool Dads, where Nate tells us, oh, I didn't tell the boys about this. We're going to hear a little bit of laughing for a little bit. So, Nate, tell us what the most helpful little tip you got from mixing the song was.
Well, so I would say the biggest challenge I ran into this week was there was a certain amount of editing that I wanted to be able to do, but I did not have really enough time to do all of the editing.
Sure.
So most of the songs that we've had so far, have had a good chunk. They might have been a lot of tracks, but they've had a good chunk of like computer programmed or synthesized sounds in some way or another. Sorry, I'm leaning out of frame. But so they didn't really require a lot of editing because it was easy enough. It was, relatively perfect, so to speak. And so this week, even though there was significantly less tracks, it was all like organically recorded things, which is normally what I'm used to recording. Yeah. But, because of COVID, I don't have much of that right now. Sure. So it was, there was a lot of editing that I felt necessary, that I needed to happen, that I was worried I wasn't going to have enough time. But what actually ended up taking place, because Benji's two guitar tracks, actually three, but two guitar tracks had this swirling chorus on it, even if I edited all of those things to like try and be as perfect as possible, it really wouldn't have mattered. So I ended up treating this mix as, and leading to the tip here, sometimes if you don't think too hard about it's all about like looking at the big picture, and ultimately like instead of like focusing on like the nitty gritty, like detail oriented stuff, if you sit back and like look at it, look at the big picture and figure out how you can make all of those things come together well within the grand scheme without doing all of the like detail oriented stuff, you can still come out with a cool result. So I had
don't get super specific.
Shift my focus a bit.
Yeah,
exactly.
That is the hardest thing to learn, and the hardest thing to resist, because we want to get everything perfect 100%, and it's just not possible. It's possible.
So easy to get caught up. It's so easy to get caught up, especially because when you start out doing recording and mixing type stuff, you're always trying to make you're always trying to make your tracks sound better, or like at the best they can. So you get into this habit of over correcting and trying too hard to make everything,
and then things sound fake.
Make all of the pieces of the puzzle fit together too much. So this was a good exercise for me in not doing that.
Yeah.
And so that was just sometimes just.
So the tip is zoom out.
Vision and yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So
well, yet again, you killed it. This sounds awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, this is great. Mate had not mixed much of our stuff.
Other tip.
Oh, we'll go back
other
to
tips. Distort everything.
Distort
everything.
So that wraps up the process, part 3, and now we're going to go to Phil, and Phil's going to tell us just a little bit about the inspiration behind the song. So I'll play Phil's parts again while he's talking about that. So Phil, tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind this song.
Sure. So, like I said, I wanted to give something more stripped down, something more acoustic, and we've talked a little bit already on this episode about honoring the song, and there's just sort of a weird, ineffable thing that happens where you hear a song and it has like a certain characteristic, and there's also like a weird human phenomena when like it gets really hot for the first time, especially when it's really hot and really humid, where your body just kind of shuts down at 3 p.m. and you're like, I am dead. But then
ooh, round 2.
Speaking of shutting down.
Speaking of shutting down, that is the most ironic moment for that to happen.
But I shut it down.
You shut down. It got really hot, and your body shut down. So
exactly, your body shuts down, and then but you still have to do work stuff, and you still have to fix your car or whatever it is. And so this song and that idea just paired perfectly. And my cat was sleeping in the corner as I was writing it, and he was sleeping heartily, like I wish I could have. But yeah, so it was just a nice marriage. And sometimes I think the idea of songwriting is it can be attractive to always write a big anthemic something about like the greatest song ever, the greatest love, the craziest night, whatever. But sometimes it's just like a little bitty thing, like taking a nap in the afternoon.
I love it. When your cat made a appearance in the song, right?
Did it make the final?
Right? About knocking the something out
That
with
was
the
my
nose.
No, that
cat.
was Ben's cat.
Oh.
Daisy's snout. Yeah, I figured Daisy was probably a dog in this situation.
Oh.
I don't know if cats have snouts. I don't know enough to say.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know either. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this episode. We're gonna play our brand new song, "Summer Snooze," one more time for you. We've gone over the boys, the song, and the process, and we're gonna give you the song one more time. Remember that in the description for this video, above, below, I don't know where it is on Facebook, we have a link that will take you to our first 4 releases that are nowhere else other than this link right now. So you can get those for free. Check that out. It's got some of our favorite songs we've ever written, and some of our favorites from Alone Together. So check that out. Until next time, enjoy Summer Snooze.
When summer comes around, my love, all I wanna do is lay down on the ground with you and take a summer snooze. But your boss keeps calling and the blinds keep falling, and these bills won't pay themselves. My brake lights out and Daisy's snout just knocked books right off the shelf. All I wanna do is take a snooze with you. All I wanna do is take that summer snooze. Can I watch the clouds roll by? Can I just watch the clouds roll by? The heat is like a glaze wrapped around my brain, floating in a warm pea soup. My days are just a daze. My sweat looks like the rain, counting down to my next snooze. But your boss keeps calling and the blinds keep falling.